Welcome back to dsf.my YouTube channel. Looking at this, Jaecoo is it's a talked about auto brand right now. Very much talked about. Everybody's doing videos on this. Everybody is highlighting its handsome looks. Some are even saying, it's got the lines and design language of some very prominent brands in the market. It's got some of the features of some very iconic brands that have been in the market for decades. But let me tell you this, everybody takes a little inspiration from someone else. Even the iconic brands, they take inspiration from other brands. But no one talks about it because they are legendary brands. But when a new player comes in the market and has some features that seem to be similar to legendary brands, there's a lot of talk, there's a lot of chat. And it's wrong, because why? The automobile is simple. It's been around for years, and there's only so much you can take out of it. In terms of design language, there's only so much you can take out of it. So what you need to understand is you got to see what there is available and improve on it, make it better, make it more attractive, and give a little bit more understanding to it. So this is the Jaecoo J8. Launched a few months ago. Two variants, two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive. This is a four-wheel drive. So when this was launched, they said first-class interior cabin. We'll go into the interior and show you what they're talking about, first-class interior cabin. But more importantly is the whole design language, the so-called mimicking of other legendary brands. But other legendary brands mimic themselves or their competitors or their immediate rivals, and no one says anything. So why is there so much noise about this? It's large. See, I'm even lost for words, because why? It's so beautifully put together. A lot of thought have been put into even small little things like this, the side view mirror, the metallic trim, the two-tone top, the full-length panoramic roof, the pop-up door handles, the slightly sloping rear end. And remember, this is a six-seater. You have 3 rows of seats in it. The large 20-inch wheels that are very attractive, the slim headlamps, the big imposing grille, and that all-powerful Jaecoo name. But let's go to the rear. Let me show you something about the rear. Before we continue, confirmation that this is a petrol-powered vehicle. This is not an electric vehicle. This is a petrol-powered vehicle. So if you look at the rear, nice, slim LED tail lamps. The Jaecoo name continues within the lamps to the rear. All-wheel drive, like we mentioned before. And the J8 nameplate. The 8 looks quite interesting. It's like almost like a logo for them. So this is what Jaecoo is trying to sell to a lot of people in Malaysia. That whole intimidating, curvaceous, stylish look at 198,000 ringgit. Imagine that, 198,000 ringgit for this. It's a lot of car for 198,000 ringgit. So let's get inside and we'll show you why this car has left a lot of us a little bit lost for words. Come, let's get inside. So, get into the Jaecoo J8. Sloping roofline like a lot of new sporty SUVs. Immediately you're greeted by a very simple yet familiar cabin. Why I say familiar? Because you've seen this sort of look in a lot of premium SUVs. I use the word premium and a lot of you are going to start questioning me, but don't question me until you get into a showroom and touch and feel this cabin for yourself. You got Napa leather, soft headrests, electric seats, ventilated electric seats, cup holder of course, deep, very deep cubby hole here, felt lined glove box. Remember once in my previous video I said how premium starts with a simple thing like felt in the glove box. Because why? When you have items inside the glove box and you're going over bumps, it doesn't rattle if it's not felt line. So when it's felt line, you don't hear the rattling sound. Little bit of premiumness. Wood-like trim. Nice bronze metallic trim here. Nice familiar looking aircon vents, easy to use, very tactile. And the fact that you have to use your hands, I'm happy because you don't have to go into the screen. The material up here reminds us of, you know, when you go diving, a long time ago I used to go diving, a diving suit material. So that feels like it. Sony sound system. 14 speakers in this all-wheel drive system. Plus you have speakers in the headrest. Something which an iconic car manufacturer put in their Roadster many years ago, and they've got it in their headrest. Nobody thought about using it after that. And it's a great feature to have, especially when you're into a sound system. And this is what Sony delivers in this vehicle. Now, I'm sure a lot of you say, oh, you know, there's so many of these premium sound system brands out there. Hey, listen, get into this car and listen to this sound system. Then talk to me. Then come back to me. Give me a comment. Microfiber headliner on the pillars and on the headline, and this microfiber has like an Alcantara feel, so very premium in the touch and feel points. And seat adjustments. Now, cameraman, look at the seat adjustments. This is something you'll find in a premium brand. I'm not going to mention the brand, but you know, and it is such a good feature to have, because why? You don't have to reach down to adjust your seat. Just up here, you can adjust your seat. Nice flat bottom steering wheel, thick, nice feel to it. Soft touch buttons, very soft touch. You hardly feel it. Start stop button is up here. You got physical buttons here. Door handle. Door handle is basically you press and you push. Now I'm going to shut the door again. I want you to listen to the shut. Solid thud, solid firm thud, which shows again premiumness. Now, ventilated seats operation here. You got two 12-inch screens here, one for the driver, one for the center command. Now, when you start up the car, beautiful digital screen, clear. Everything you want is in the screen. Now, cameraman, can you come into the car, take a closer look at this? Now, if you look at the screen here, you got your navigation here. Of course, your car, you know, when you do parking and everything else, you got all the sensors working. You got your speedometer, tachometer, everything here, your fuel gauge, how many kilometers left, your temperature, total mileage taken, outside temperature, time, park. No one is wearing the seatbelt at the back. It's warning you. Your headlamps are on. It's telling you. Aircon controls are here. Vehicle settings are here. Very quick, very fast, very easy to learn. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto connectivity, you know, of course, it's made in China. These guys are fast. They don't waste time with giving you these features. Phone function, navigation. See how fast it loaded. Now, this is the beauty about how these things work. You know, you click and straight away it tells you where all the nearest petrol stations are, you know, whatever functions you want. You want to go back to home. Very fast, very quick, very easy. This is the beauty about Chinese-made software right now. They're leading the world. Then we got a full-length panoramic roof with a sliding powered cover. Now, I like to emphasize the fact of the sliding powered cover because a lot of vehicles don't have this cover, and that's when the heat comes in. But the sliding cover is also thick. The material is thick, which really keeps the heat out as much as possible. You got power adjustments here for the seat. So it's easy for you to adjust if your passenger leaves and they left it in a position you don't want it to be, so you don't have to reach across to the door. So infotainment, everything is there. Stock controls, okay. Gear shifter is here. You don't have a gear shifter here, so your gear shifter is on the right. On the left is one stock that does your wiper, your signal, your lights, everything, all in one stock. Heads-up display, 50-watt phone charging with a cooling system here. So that means you get your phone also cooled while it's being charged. Very important, but 50 watts, that's fast. Q1 charger, QI charger. So let's take a look at the back. I'm going to switch off the engine and we're going to get to the back. Now here is where this SUV shines. And I like to use the word shines because they've done something which a lot of other SUV manufacturers have not done yet. They've put, they call this the queen seat, 2 queen seats. I think everyone is using a king seat, so they use the word queen seat. It's first class cabin seat, you know. Here's the beauty of these rear seats. You got aircon vents, one for each. You got the adjustments here for the rear aircon. You got the panoramic roof like I mentioned earlier. But even more important, you got an aircon vent here, you got a speaker here, and you've got your seat adjustment here. Can you see that? Electric seat adjustment at the back, so easy to use. So suddenly you start thinking, doesn't this remind you, this rear area, of the comfort space you find in a premium MPV? But this is an SUV, but they've given you that premium MPV-like rear seating. And that's important because why? Maybe the person who buys this car says, I don't want an MPV because MPVs are boxy and a bit boring. Let me get a SUV with all-wheel drive capability so I don't look like I'm in a bread box, and I have comfortable rear seating with aircon, panoramic roof at my call, electric controls on easy reach, and of course that wonderful door opening which is just press and push. Then you've got third row seating. Now third row seating might not be the biggest. Remember, I told you the back was sloping down, but you've got enough space for 2 young people or 2 middle-aged yoga instructors. Because why? It's a bit of a chore to get in the rear, but I can do it. Not easy to do, but I can do it. Now a little bit tight because I've left this seat at its position for the queen to sit, but I can still sit, I can stretch my leg. I've got cup holders here. I've got aircon vents on the roof, which is very important. I've got rear seat belts. I've got adjustable headrests. And it's not too bad because I do have a window out. So, Jaecoo cabin planners have designed this to accommodate a whole new segment of buyers. Let me see if I'm still able to get out here. A bit of a squeeze. Not really good to show this in a video, but look at my age and I can still do it. So, can be done. So, queen seat, super comfortable. At the back, 2 for sure. 3 in a squeeze, but it can be done because you have the center space. Very comfortable front end. And remember, I've kept the seats pushed back to show the space. So if I push this forward, I still haven't hit the rear of the seat. Look at the space at the back. So the point we're trying to make is, this is a spacious vehicle, and for 198,000 ringgit. So let's take it for a drive and we'll share with you some of the figures that are important. So let's take a closer look at the rear. Because you're going to ask me, it's a 6-seater, 3 rows of seats, it's got that sloping rear end, that very aerodynamic profile. Is there luggage space? Well, you must understand, the moment you have a 3rd row seat up, don't expect a lot of luggage space, you know. But if you need the space, there is the possibility of lowering the 3rd row seats and you get this huge space. Best of all, everything is hidden underneath here. Toolkit, and all. And your spare tire is underneath. So you got to get down, up close and look at the spare tire underneath. So that leaves a lot of room here for you to load luggage if you're carrying 4 people. Now, if you think this is not right for you, you can get the 2-wheel drive version, which is slightly lower in price, and it doesn't have third row seating. So that's up to you. So of course, you need to know what kind of powertrain is underneath this stylish looking SUV. So let me show you something. This car has been off-road. This car has been through serious off-road. So you got this full engine cover. See how dirty it is. But let me just explain to you why it's like this. Because why? This car was actually tested off-road. We didn't bother to wash the engine. Sorry about that. 4-cylinder direct injection turbocharged engine, 2000 cc. It means it's 2 liter. Rotex is not much. You get an 8-speed automatic transmission working with this engine. You've got a very impressive 245 brake horsepower powering this vehicle, 385 Newton meters of torque. That means the top speed possible 205, but you're not going to go 205 because this is SUV and our speed limits are governed in Malaysia, very strict at 110. So 110 is maximum you can go, but if you wanted to break the law, 205 is possible. 0 to 100 acceleration in 9 seconds. Now the 2-wheel drive is slightly faster at 8.8 seconds, but this is 9 seconds. The price again, 198,800 for this very, very impressive SUV. Let me put this cover back just to show you that this car has gone for some serious off-roading. So now that you know everything that you need to know about this car in terms of engine, specification, interior, exterior, what is it like to drive? What does it feel like to drive? Well, let's start up the engine. And you see how it starts up. Start-stop button is on my right. Icon vents. Sync it. Click into reverse. And that wonderful camera system comes to play. Look at that wonderful camera system. Now, this is not just any camera system. Jaecoo and its sister company, Chery, provides a very interesting camera system. And it's super clear. Let me tell you, it's super clear. Look at that. And it almost feels like there's a camera above us doing everything because it's so precise. See, even the leaves and everything else that is on the track is picked up. How they do it. Software, amazing, isn't it? Light, easy to use steering wheel. Okay, some of you might say, oh, it's too light for me and everything else. But that's only some of you because the rest of Malaysian drivers all want light steering wheels. We all want, because we're sitting in traffic all day. Even if you're on the highway, it's speed sensitive, so it's fine. But the most important thing is it's light, it's easy to use. Even a person of age who's got a little bit of arthritis like me, a little bit of muscle pull like me, you'll find it easy to use, no problem in traffic. One-hand driving, which is not advisable, is still possible. I'm talking about people of certain age. Anyway, side view mirrors are large, easy to look at. Car is so quiet that, the security guard didn't even notice us coming up. That's the bump absorption, which will be a common problem in Malaysia because there's bumps everywhere, speed bumps, ruts, broken tarmac. Then you'll ask about acceleration. In eco mode, it accelerates so easily. Now you've got a mode selector here. You got normal, you got sport, you got snow, because this car goes around the world. You got mud, because you're going off-road, 4-wheel drive. You got sand, then you got serious off-road. But let's keep it in sport for this. Because you're going to ask how quick is it, how fast it is. Now, even in eco mode, you hardly notice anything because why? It is quick. Just going to open this a little bit. Driver assist is fantastic. It spots all little vehicles coming on your left and right, front, back. Shows you everything in the center screen. You can live by it or you can just choose to ignore it. That's up to you. A lot of the systems also you can switch on and switch off through the system. Take some time, learn it, and then you'll understand it better. If you're in this cabin, you'll notice that you don't hear any tire noise. 20-inch wheels running on Michelins, and you don't hear any tire noise. That is quite surprising. That means the cabin is very well insulated. And this is what Jaecoo has delivered to its customers in Malaysia and around the world. A very serene, premium cabin experience when you're on the road. So light changes green. We have a bit of open road. Listen to that engine note. It's actually quite a little bit entertaining. They've actually given the engine the exhaust, a little bit of a note. So if you like a bit of spirited driving, yeah, okay. You can see for yourself, it's handling quite well. Tracks well. Well, you got large wheels, you got 4-wheel drive. You got a nice, very well damped suspension system. I'm not flooring the throttle. I'm just literally, just resting my foot on it, just putting a bit of pressure. Now a bit of pressure because we're going uphill a bit. Release. Let it just right. Why is this guy coming into my lane? I see him here, so he's in my lane. I'm going to honk him. Okay, he's dreaming, obviously. Okay. This guy is going too slow. So you have all kinds of drivers, and this is what the system is here to help you with, So the Jaecoo J8 all-wheel drive. It has a lot of elements that your notion might say, hey, familiar this. Well, put it all aside because why? Everybody is taking a little bit of everything from everybody else to make things work perfectly. You take all the elements that you think is right for the consumer, you put it together in a wonderful cabin, you get a nice decent 2-liter engine, 8-speed gearbox, all-wheel drive or 2-wheel drive depending on your requirement, and premium sound system, nice material, comfortable seats, digital everything, clear digital everything, easy parking with that beautiful camera system, and all for below 199,000 ringgit in Malaysia. Go to a showroom, test drive it, make sure you test the sound system, make sure you sit in it, sit at the back, get the salesperson to drive you or your other half to drive you when you take for a test drive because you need to experience the rear seat and then make your decision. This is DSF YouTube channel. Any comments, please share with us. Good or bad, we don't mind. Good or bad, we don't mind because we learn from all kinds of comments. Thank you and see you at our next video.